Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and I want to take you to the next step of rewriting your story and helping you figure out how to utilize your mind. So if you remember, we're focused on the GPS, your personal GPS, goal setting, your purpose. Basically what we're talking about is the massive transformative purpose and story, rewriting your story or giving yourself the story that allows you to become and do what you want to do. So as we did that, we actually said the big power that you have is in your mind, the power of your mind, the mindset, the way you think and what you want to do. And so the first video that we actually did, we talked about overcoming ordinary. Today, I want to talk to you more about unleashing limitless potential. So as a quick reminder, we're sitting there going, okay, to help you overcome the ordinary, we told you the story about my daughter and how she had to overcome the bullying and not try to fit into that box the world puts you in, but to step out of that box and become extraordinary. And we talked about going from comfort zone through overcoming your fear to discover yourself, to seize the day so that you can live with purpose. And it's a process, it's a stepwise process. You say, okay, first thing I need to break out of my comfort zone. I need to address and overcome my fears. And then I need to discover myself so that I can seize the day and notice what's available for me. And then you step into becoming extraordinary, becoming concordant, becoming the person that you really want to be. So that was the first step. But I want to go a little bit further. I want to go to the unleashing the limitless potential. This is huge. This is a really big deal to help you step in to that extraordinary life that you really want to live. And so often we put limitations on ourselves. Let me tell you a story. There's a great story that I actually like to talk about with this. And what happened is there was this farmer, and he was raising chickens. He had lots of chickens. And one day he was out in his farm and he found an egg. And this was a larger egg, not a typical chicken egg, large egg. He didn't exactly recognize what it is. So he took the egg and put it in with the chickens. And there was a chicken that was actually hatching eggs. And so he put it under in her nest and allowed her to hatch those eggs. And as she was hatching the eggs, all the eggs hatched except for this larger egg. And he was very, very pleased as a farmer because the chicken continued, that hen continued to sit on that egg to allow it to ultimately hatch. When it did hatch, out came a beautiful bald eagle. And he's looking at this bald eagle going, okay, this is not a chicken. And he just figured he'd just watch. And as he was watching, this eagle started to follow and do everything the chickens were doing. It would peck the ground. It would walk around just like the other chickens. And one day, a ranger was driving by and he saw this large eagle walking around in the chicken coop. And he's going, okay, that's not a chicken. That's an eagle. And he walked in, talked to the farmer. He says, I'm a ranger. I would love to take this eagle and allow it to become an eagle. It can't be a chicken. And he goes, well, no, ranger, you're wrong. This is a chicken. He goes, no, really, it's an eagle. I've done this a long time. I know it's an eagle. And the man started laughing. He goes, yeah, but it thinks it's a chicken. He goes, no, it's definitely an eagle. So he says, well, okay, if you can get it to be an eagle, to do what it's supposed to do as an eagle, then great. If you can't, then I get to keep this eagle. And the ranger says, okay, not a problem. So he went out into the chicken coop. He picked up the eagle and says, this is not a chicken, this is an eagle. And he threw it up in the air. And the eagle spread its wings, looked down, saw the chickens pecking the ground, dropped to the ground, started pecking the ground. And the farmer started laughing, says, see, it's not an eagle, it's a chicken. And the ranger says, I'm not done yet. And so he picked the eagle up again and he climbed on top of the barn house and he says, okay, I'm going to try again. And he threw it up and the eagle went up in the air, started to fall towards the ground, looked down, spread its wings, swooped down, landed right next to the chickens and started pecking the ground again. This time the farmer could hardly stand up. He was laughing so hard. He's going, see, I told you it's a chicken. And the ranger says, no, I want one more try. He goes, okay, one more try. But if I win, I get to keep the eagle. And he says, perfect, that works. So he grabbed him, the eagle, took it in the car, and he drove to the top of a very, very high hill, mountain. And as he was there on the mountain, the farmer was with him, still laughing, saying, I tell you, this is not an eagle, it's a chicken. And so the ranger walked to the edge of the cliff, and he looked up and there were eagles flying above, and he looked down and he couldn't see the farmhouse. He says, perfect. And he threw the eagle off the cliff. And the eagle, as it swooped off the cliff, looked down, couldn't see its farmhouse, couldn't see the chickens, couldn't see the hen that he thought was his mother, and started to wonder what was going on. Then he looked up. And as he looked up, he saw the eagle soaring. And he spread his wings and he started to soar just like the other eagles. And he flew away. Because the truth was, he wasn't a chicken. He truly was an eagle. Now, the whole point of that story is that you are extraordinary. You're not normal, average, or ordinary. You don't have the limitations that the world's putting on you. You don't have the limitations you're putting on yourself. And so what I'm inviting you to do is to step out of that and say, okay, I'm going to overcome those beliefs that I have, those self-limiting beliefs. I'm going to overcome those negative self-talk that I'm actually hearing, or even the talk that you're hearing from other people. And I'm going to overcome ordinary, like we already talked about, but I'm going to step into the extraordinary, and I'm going to reach that limitless potential, realize that I really, really have limitless potential, and let's unleash it. Let's give you the power to unleash that limitless potential. So how do you do that? So what I want you to do, I want you to take a moment here and take a piece of paper and draw 4 circles on that piece of paper. 4 circles, and one on the left, one on the right, then below it, another one on the left, another one on the right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do arrows that goes from the one to the left to the right, then down, then over, then back up. So it's kind of a loop, a square loop of 4 different squares. And then I'm going to teach you how to unleash your limitless potential. And this is something that I was taught by Tony Robbins. It's a very, very powerful tool. It's really, really valuable. So to unleash your limitless potential, the first thing you need to do is understand that you have a potential, right? That you have potential, that you have the ability to do things, to accomplish things, to really succeed. And with that potential, if all you do is sit there, it continues to be potential. If you left that eagle on the ground, pecking the ground, it would never realize it was truly an eagle and would still think it was a chicken. So you've got to realize there's potential, which you know you have. You are extraordinary. You have ability to be extraordinary. You've already made the choice to step out of or overcome ordinary. So you have potential. But what I want to do is teach you how to truly unleash that limitless or unlimited potential. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take action. If all you have is potential and you never take action, it stays at potential. But as soon as you start taking action, it starts to function, it starts to flow, it starts to happen. So in science, we talk about potential energy, and the potential energy is what can be unleashed, but it stays as potential energy instead of energy until an action is taken. And my invitation to you is to do massive action, to move really, really hard and far towards what your goals are, so you can actually start doing that. As you do that massive action, you start to recognize even more of the potential that you have. But even more important than that, you will start to get results. And so as you get massive action, you start to get results. And these results start to teach you that it wasn't just potential, but it was ability. It was things that you could accomplish, things that you could do. And so that those results will now start to change your beliefs. And what will happen is, instead of just thinking you can do something or believing that you can do something, you'll have certainty. You'll know that you can accomplish this. You'll know that you can do things. You'll know that based on history, based on the massive action and the results that you were getting, you'll have a belief or certainty that you can actually accomplish. And so what that does is that increases your potential, because you now understand what you can do, and allows you to go a step further and do even more. And the point is, this is a propagation process. So as you recognize you have potential and you do massive action, you'll start to get results that will teach you that you can actually accomplish things, and that will cause you to have a higher potential, which should lead you to more massive action, or even bigger action, more massive type of action, which will give you even bigger results. And as you get the bigger results, then you can say, okay, now I know even more that I can accomplish this. And it is a self-fulfilling self-fulfilling prophecy that you say, I have potential, I take massive action, I see the results, and after I see the results, then I start to believe that I can do more, and I can be more, and I can have more. The truth is, to really understand that you are extraordinary, you've got to act like you are extraordinary. You've got to make the massive action, start moving forward, and one step at a time, you'll start to understand what's going on. It's just like a child learning how to walk. First things first, they've got to believe that they can take a step. And once they take a step, they may fall. But they know, I can take a step. It worked. Yeah, I didn't balance right, great. But they take another step. They take another step. Can you imagine if we taught children when they took that first step and fell, oh, I guess you're just not supposed to be a walker, and you don't let them walk for the rest of their lives? Can you imagine leaving that potential on the table of becoming a walker just because they failed? But they take massive action. They walk and they take a step, they fall, they take another step and fall. They step over and over and over again. Before they know it, they start to notice that they can walk. And before you know it, your 2-year-old's not walking, but they're running around and you can't even keep up with them because they've realized their massive potential, their limitless potential on what they can accomplish, what they can do. And they go from a baby that doesn't know how to walk to a world championship marathoner, or someone that breaks the 4-minute mile, or someone that climbs mountains or goes on hikes, or whatever the goal or whatever the process is. Potential is limitless. You can do and become anything. So the question is, are you willing to recognize your potential, take massive action, document the results so that you can have an increased belief, an increased certainty, so you can do it all again? I promise you that if you step into this process, you will unleash the limitless potential that will allow you to do things that you didn't think were possible. Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson. This is Concordant Day 23, Unleashing Your Limitless Potential. I love this process. I was really, really excited when I learned this from Tony Robbins, and I'm really, really excited to give it to you. Are you ready to reach your goals, live your dream, and enjoy an extraordinary life? Unleash your limitless potential. And by doing that, you will rewrite the story that will allow you to live that extraordinary